Hey, what's going on? My phone's about to die soon. Uh, Hanging out by the deli. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock Saturday, October 18th. I'm hanging out over by the deli uh, on Avenue P. I have no money. I'm completely broke. I'm waiting for a work comp check to come for the last week. I called up on Tuesday or Wednesday, and the guy told me that it was issued on Monday. So I figured it would come Thursday or Friday. And Thursday, the mail comes. They send the mail. The mail carrier puts mail all over the opposite side of the street, and she doesn't come to our side of the street. Right? I think that was Friday. Yeah, and then I went over to the post office and I walked into the post office and the guy's like, "How'd you get in here?" And I'm like, "I walked in." He's like, "You're not supposed to be in here." I'm like, "Yeah, well, is there something going on with the mail?" He's like, "No, nothing's going on with the mail." I said, "The carrier, she brought mail to like the opposite side of the street. She usually starts on our side of the street around 3 or 3:30, and I saw her on the opposite side of the street at that time, and she didn't do our side of the street." And I talked to a guy today over by the deli. He said they did the same thing to his block, and so I'm wondering, well, like, what's going on? So he tells me, hang on. He's like, "I'll ask someone. I'll figure out what's going on." And I told him I'm waiting for an important check to come, and I'm concerned. So he comes back out in like 5 minutes, and he's like, "Oh, I talked to your carrier, and she said you didn't have mail, and that's why she didn't come to you." I was like, "Whatever." He's like, "Wait till tomorrow. We'll keep an eye out for it." So I'm like, "All right, oh great, okay." So today comes, and I check the mail. I don't have a check in the mail, but I have a letter from the insurance company saying how they're not accepting me for any more physical therapy. That my the company that I was working for, insurance provider, whatever, isn't accepting me for any more physical therapy. So I still have the work comp, right? But they're not they're not accepting the physical therapy. So my physical therapist sent, like, this is the third recommendation she sent into my insurance company, into work comp, asking them to give me physical therapy, and they won't give me it. So she's like, if they deny you this the third time, she's like, you're gonna have to get your lawyer involved. So I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. So I don't know. My lawyer had told me. I went to the office in Manhattan back in, I don't know, maybe August or September, or no, yeah, maybe around August. I went to the my lawyer and I put in my testimony and stuff, and he said that we're waiting till like December to find out whether or not they want to settle or not, whether or not they want to settle or bring it to court, because that'll be December. February will be a year since the file went in. So I think they have a year to decide whether or not they want to take it to court or settle. You know, I hope they don't take it to court. I hope they settle. But if they take it to court, I'm prepared. I'm not doing anything. Like what else am I doing? I don't know. I could appear or whatever. I could bring my testimony to court, whatever. I'm hoping they settle though. You know, I got one lawsuit is out of the way. I think we settled one lawsuit. The last time I talked to my lawyer, he gave me a number and stuff, and he said that we're just waiting to do some paperwork and finalize everything, and that I'm going to get two payments. I'm going to get a payment in November and another payment in December for my settlement. So I'm waiting. I can't get October over with yet. October's moving so slow, and I have no money. I'm waiting for this work comp check, and then at the end of the month I get some money from Social Security, but like right away the money goes, so as soon as I get my work, as soon as I get my social security check, excuse me, I need a cigarette. I'm fucked up and I need a cigarette. All this phlegm's coming up because I haven't really smoked. I'm grubbing cigarettes off the street. But no, so yeah, so I get my social security check. I get 900 from social security. Right away $300 comes out because I financed cell phones for two girls, this Russian girl in my program and the Colombian girl that I was seeing, you know. And so you know, the Colombian girl, she's like, I don't know what her deal is. She put me on like do not disturb on both her phones. Like I have two of her phones. I have one phone of hers that she gave me when we first started seeing each other, and I have another phone of hers that I had financed for her. And she put me on like do not disturb on both of her phones, where like I'll call and it goes right to voicemail, or I'll text and she doesn't return my text. And then she blocked me on TikTok, and then she popped up on my TikTok under a different screen name, and she wanted me to hit her up on WhatsApp. We started talking on WhatsApp, and she robbed some money from me. Where she promised me things, and I paid her money over Zelle twice, and she didn't fulfill what she was going to do twice on Zelle. And then going back into July, I had sent her $360. Not this one that popped up, but the original one. I had sent her $360, and she never showed up. She never came through. And that's when I was staying on 51st Street when I had the room for rent. She never came. So like she keeps taking my money. Well, anyway, she called me today. She called me this morning, and I hit her back. I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And right away she asked me for money. She's like, "Could I get $30?" And I told her, I'm like, "You're not getting anything until you fix what you broke. You broke my trust, and frankly, I don't trust you. I don't have money to give you right now, and if I did, I wouldn't, because of what you did. I don't trust you. So I'm like, I told her, I was like, come see me, fix what you broke, fix my trust, come see me, and then I'll start giving you money. I'll start sending you money. I have no problem with it. If you play fair, I'll play fair. But I don't know. She called from like a California number. I think she had a boyfriend that was living in California, where she would go see her boyfriend that lived in California for a while, and then she broke up with him, and then she got back together with him and stuff. And it fucked me. So my phone's gonna die. I don't know when I'm gonna make this post. I'm gonna try to upload it to YouTube, and then shoot it over to Facebook. I won't even be able to see how many people saw it, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I have no money. I'm completely broke. I got into an argument with my dad today. I asked him. I was like, Dad, could I get like $30? And I messaged my friend. I was like, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, could you help me out? And my friend's been asking me to help him out with stuff, and I've been blowing him off because I've been waiting for this work comp check to come. And I keep telling him, I need to stay around the house. I need to get my mail and go over to the bank, and like, so I can't come help you because it'll dig into my day where, if I get this check, I need to go to the bank and stuff. And, so I blew him off. And I asked him, I called him today. I was like, could you help me out with $30? And he never responded. And then I asked my dad, I was like, Dad, could I get $30? And he's like, oh, how often is this shit gonna go on that you keep asking for money? And he put me through like this big guilt trip. He's like, I have $5 that I could give you. You could take it or leave it. I'm like, fuck you, I don't want your fucking $5. I'm like, I really need $30. I really need $30. It's the weekend. It's Saturday. Everybody's out. Everybody's having fun. What would I spend what would I spend the $30 on? Honestly, I'd buy a pack of cigarettes. I'd buy a $10 pre-roll of marijuana. I'd break that pre-roll of marijuana up into like 3 or 4 joints. I'd buy an Arizona and a slice of pizza, and I'd sit in the backyard and listen to my cell phone and just not bother anybody and just be in peace. But like, he's too fucking cheap to give me $30. And I'm like, look, I'll pay you back. And he's like, no, you won't. You won't pay me back. I know you. And he has that attitude with everything. When I tried applying for Social Security, he was like, oh, you're not going to get Social Security. And like, when I wanted to go to the strip club, he's like, I think you'll find that you're not going to enjoy the strip club. And like, anything that like I have in store, that I have planned to do, he has a negative outlook on it. He has something negative to say about it, or negative to think about it. He doesn't help me out with anything. Like, he gives me pickings, and he's like, he's such an asshole. He's the biggest fucking asshole. I swear to God, my father is the biggest fucking asshole. He's so fucking cheap. I was thinking about going to school. I used to go to school in Manhattan, right? Like, even if you go further back than that, like, I went to Xaverian for high school, right? From the first 2 years. And like, I didn't get any new clothes or anything. I didn't get a new jacket. I didn't get new pants or a new shirt. I had a neighbor give me his old clothes, and I went to school in my neighbor's old clothes because he went to that school. And that's how I got the clothes. Like, they never really bought me clothes or anything like that. And like, when was the last time they bought me like a pair of fucking pants, or a pair of fucking sneakers, and then coming out of that school, I went to that school for 2 years. I went to Madison after that, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, they're not paying tuition for a Catholic school, and I'm going to public school. Maybe they'll have money where they can get me some nice clothes. And of course, they don't have money. They don't have money for me to get clothes, And I'm just like, this sucks. I'm from Madison, I went to City As school. I'd go into the city, and my dad would give me like a $3 allowance to go into the city, and spend the day in the city or wherever I was interning. I get like $3, bro. Like, like, all my other friends, they all got money and shit, and like, meanwhile, he's sending both my sisters. My sister Alice is going to Bishop Kearney. My sister Alice is getting, she gets to go to school with a cell phone and a beeper and shit. My sister Katie ended up going to Bishop Kearney. My sister Alice, I didn't graduate high school, so I didn't go on to college right away. I got out of high school, I got my GED, and I went right into the workforce. I started working, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I have a job. Maybe I could get an apartment. But I didn't realize, like, coming out of high school and getting a job, it's like you're working like a fucking Mexican. You're working like a fucking dog. And like, you don't have money for an apartment, and they're not paying you great, and money comes out in tax. And like, you put all these hours in, and then you get your check, and you see like all the tax they take out, and you're like, fuck, like, what am I fucking even doing? And it fucking sucks, like, I was so amped to like get through high school and get a job out of high school, and make a living for myself and get my own place. And like, that shit never fucking happened. That's fucking bullshit, I feel bad for fucking kids where like, like, they get stuck working at like fucking a grocery store, or they get stuck working at like in retail or some shit like that. Like, how are we supposed to fucking survive? Like, they give us the bare minimum to get by on. It fucking sucks, you know. And like, and to be able to go to school, to be able to get trained in something, you need money, you know. And where are you supposed to get this money from? Like, how are you supposed to work and make money if it costs money to go to school, you know, and then you're stuck in debt, you know. It's all like a fucking trap, you know. Like, it's crazy, you know. Anyway, you know, my parents are really fucking cheap. My parents are really fucking cheap, and they act like they have all the fucking answers. They act like they have all the fucking answers. They act like they did everything fucking right, you know. But they have, like, what kind of fucking, you know, what kind of life did they leave for me? You know, where like they got everything right, you know. They didn't fucking do anything fucking right. They never like really invested in the market and made money off the market or anything like that. I know, like, you know, my cousin has told me that they have more money than they act like they have, and that they are cheap. I was told directly from a cousin of mine, you know. And you know, it's just not fair. You know, they gave my sister Alice all this leverage, you know, and my sister Alice got so far, you know, and my sister Katie's doing really well. And I'm pretty sure they took money out of an IRA to help my sister get the apartment that she has in Manhattan, you know. So after fighting with my dad over $30, I go out, I'm like, I gotta get out of the house, you know. So I leave the house and I'm walking around the fucking neighborhood, just fucking wandering around like a fucking ghost, you know. And my mom calls me up, and my mom's like, oh, we're going to see your sister tomorrow in Manhattan. We're going to have some lunch. And she's like, I asked her if you could come. She's like, yeah, you could come. So I'm like, well, that's fucking great, you know, but like, what am I gonna, like, you don't even want me there. First of all, you don't even want me there. I know she doesn't want me there. I've been trying to call my sister for the last 2 months, and I get on the phone with her and she's like, I'm too busy, I can't talk. Or she doesn't answer me, she doesn't text me back, she doesn't call me back. No one wants me there. Like, no one wants me at this lunch, you know. And like, all of a sudden I'm invited to this lunch where like they're gonna pay, you know, my dad is gonna pay for my sister, he's gonna pay for my mom, pay for himself. All of a sudden I'm invited, so now he's paying for me too. And like, all of a sudden, like, now he has fucking money. Bro, when the last time my birthday came around, where I was like, let's go out for my birthday, I don't even think we did anything. My last birthday I was homeless. How about that? My last birthday I was homeless, sleeping on the street of Avenue N. Or no, I just got out of the hospital. My last birthday, I just got out of the hospital, and I rented a hotel room, and I stayed in a hotel room with a homeless girl that I met on the street. That's what I did for my last birthday. That's what I did for, and the one before that, I went to the Mexican restaurant with my mom, and my dad couldn't come because my dad was too fucking lazy. And that was my birthday. I didn't get anything, you know. They didn't get me sneakers. They didn't fucking, you know, they didn't get me a bicycle or anything like that. That was my fucking last birthday. My dad was too fucking bitchy to fucking come to my birthday at the Mexican place. He didn't want Mexican food, so I went with my mom, and that was it, you know. And meanwhile, he'll go to Jersey. He'll go to fucking Jersey to see my sister and my nephews, which I haven't fucking seen yet, you know. And he'll go to the city, to Manhattan, to see my other sister, you know, but he can't even get up to fucking come to see my birthday. He's a fucking asshole, bro. He's the biggest fucking asshole. You know, I'm just sick, man. I'm sick. I'm totally sick. And with these girls, with Uranus, with, you know, with the Colombian girl, with Uranus, fucking, I don't know if it's really her calling me up or not, you know. That makes me fucking sick, you know. And, you know, I have no money. You know, all I want is just like, if I could just get, like, I just want $30. Like, if I could have like $30, get a pack of cigarettes, get a pre-roll, break it up into some joints, get something nice, like a refreshing drink, a little something to eat, and just hide out in my backyard, you know, and just fucking chill and just get away from everything. But instead, I'm sitting on a street corner and I'm trying to bum cigarettes from people to keep myself from having, withdrawals. I don't want to have withdrawals, so I'm bumming cigarettes off a street corner. I don't want to go home, because I go home, I have no cigarettes, so I'm going to want to come back out to bum cigarettes. And I can't sleep because I'm going through withdrawals because I have no cigarettes, and no one's fucking helping me. And I'm by myself. I'm all by myself, and it fucking sucks, It's like, I have no fucking friends. I have no one to come over and comfort me. It sucks. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm totally fucking sick of everyone and everything.